Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Shawn here with Manly Made Minute. And today, as promised, if you saw my unpackaging video with my very first purchase of Altenew products and the 6 bundles that I got for an amazing deal. And this was my first I'm getting some good quality product purchase, and I'm going to do this with some layers. As you can tell, I have the same shirt on that I did for that unpackaging video because this is right after. I couldn't wait, and I decided which one I'm going to do first. And I'm going to do kind of just a simple card to try this layering a little bit. I've done this a couple times with some other stamp sets layering, but this is my first really good flower and doing something just across the front of the card. I wanted stuff to fill fronts of cards this time, so that's what I did. And I feel like I got a great deal with the stamp set and the die set. And I gotta show you something, because when I actually opened up these, I hadn't opened up these when I did the unpackaging video. There's even more stuff inside the packaging. So let's head down, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to lay this card out, make it simple. Hopefully this isn't going to be too long. I'm going to see if I can do this in a good cadence and not an hour-long kind of video for you too. So I just want to go down and show you. Here's what we're going to do. I picked the sweet flowers. If you remember in my unpackaging video, I liked this one. I liked the softness and the roundness of the flowers. Packaging came like this and had this in the back. Look at this. Look at this. When you open these up, they give you all these options in here and different color variations, different ways to lay these out. I had no idea this was in here. So cool. Especially, I don't consider myself a really new card maker, but at the same time, I love the inspiration that they give you. So I'm going to do the full flower, the full cutout, lay it on top of the full card, or the full flower on my card, and try that first versus some of these layouts. I'm going to do these layouts, I can tell you that right now, to try. And I'm doing a pink and green theme on mine, because I like that color combination, either pink and orange or pink and green. I think just look really good together. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to stamp this, die cut that whole flower out with this, and here's the sizes I've used. So this is going to be my matte layer. My matte layer is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So that's my matte layer. My card front layer is going to be white, and I did 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 for that. So this is going to be the front of my card. This is where I'm going to do a little bit of blending background, die cut, lay that out with a sentiment, easy peasy. Okay, pardon me. Now on this, and we'll do this first. I just have this stuff that you can get at a craft store. It's like a mesh tooling. I can't remember the name of this stuff. I like to do use this just to get that linen kind of look. And I'm going to layer this over top, lightly blend some gray for my background with my greens and my pinks and stuff you can see over here. As my background with the flower and sentiment over top of that. Alright, so let's just do that first so that has time to dry as we do my flower. Alright, as you all know, if you've watched my videos, when I do this stuff, especially this kind of stuff, I love me some painter's tape to do this stuff. And I have found with this stuff, it stretches a lot, so you gotta kind of lay this down tight. I'm not lining up anything. I'm just laying this over because I'm just gonna do I'm not gonna cover that whole front with this anyway when I blend this out. But I'm gonna pull this somewhat taut so it has minimal movement when I blend this. I've used this before and I just have learned you want this relatively taut. Otherwise it doesn't come out the best from blending with some inks on the brush. here's the thing I like about this too, is it's so easy. So that's actually pretty taunt. Okay, so now I'm using all Catherine Pooler inks. I'm going to use Hoodie. Now this is a medium to darker gray. I'm going to go with a very, very, very light hand because I don't want this too dark. Pebble, I usually use Pebble. Let me grab Pebble so you can kind of see it. This is the lightest one I have. I wanted just a little bit more depth than this. This would work amazing. This is what I use almost always when I do this, but I wanted to try a tiny bit more depth. I thought, you know what? I'm doing new stamps. Let's just try something different. I always go to my safety net of Pebble. All right, I'm gonna load this up. I have a scratch piece of paper over here, so I'm just gonna use this to dab off so I don't get it too dark. Now I'm light hand. I'm just gonna start in the middle, and I'm just gonna kind of like randomly work around, so I just have a little splash of this texture on this card. Super light. And you'll see that gray starting to lay down. And I don't want this. I want this kind of white and gray texture on this background. So I'm kind of pushing it down just a little bit to get a little extra color as I move around, but I'm kind of darting around so I get some white in and out of there. So it's almost cloud-like, you know, but with that linen texture. Keeping it soft around those edges so that it kind of just blends out on me. Just a little bit of darkness kind of in some spots here. And you can kind of see, if it lifts, you can see about how much you're laying down. The downside to this is, once it's down, it's down. You can't lift this up and, oh, I want more, to lay it back down because this linen is so fine textured. You got to be comfortable where it's at and just lift it when you think you've got enough. And I think I've got enough where I'm going to lift this up. Okay? Push that out just a little bit. All right, here we go. The big linen reveal. And this stuff is so cheap, I never reuse it. So I just toss that away. Okay? Now that's the darkest I've done for a gray like that, but I'm happy with that. Nice little texture with that, you know, imagine that flower laying over the top of that. I'm super happy with that. That'll get glued down now onto my pink mat, okay? All right, let's move on to the flower and give this a shot. All right, move my dies out of the way for a second here. All right, here's the other thing I invested in. I did it. I finally did it. I got myself a sticky mat that's in here. This, I think, is one of those purchases that I'm like, oh, really? Like, why did I not do this sooner? It's almost like one of those, like, boing in the head, duh, Shawn, you know. Yeah, wish I would have done it sooner. All right, I'm just going to center this because you got to kind of stick that in. I'm going to die cut this out anyway. I have decided I'm not going to use, I might stamp these, you know, around these little flowers around this. Haven't decided, but I'm not going to die cut those, so I'm not worried about space around here for anything else. All right, just lay that down. This one is your outline layer, it looks like. So this has A, B, C for the flowers when you pick your flowers. So this is my outline layer. I'm going to go, I think I'm just going to go actually a dark gray on this, not black. And I think, let me just double check the color of this one. My blackjack gray. That's a little too dark. Where's the slate? Slate. Yeah, I'm going to go slate. So it's that middle road of, it's a bluish gray, which I think will go well with my greens and my pinks. Okay, so Catherine Pooler Slate Gray. Forgot to prime it, so I might have to stamp this a couple times. Lay that down. I'm kind of being gentle. These stamps are actually, they're not squishy. They're pretty stiff, you know, clear polymer. I love this detail on these. Like, I knew as soon as I opened the packaging and I saw this, like that, I was like, okay, hands down, I haven't even stamped them yet, and I was like, hands down, and I wish, I was so ready to do this video, but pardon me, I wish I would have opened up these, because now I can't wait to open up the rest of these and see what other options are in these, because I had no idea that was in the packaging at all. It's almost like, okay, now I got, what do you call them? And now I got idea sheets, dies, and layering stamps for what I paid. I'm gonna go one more light one, because I just kind of want a good outline. Okay, there we go. That's my outline. And now we will go, I have another stamp chamois on order because I lost that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you noticed I found my magnet. I thought I lost it. I thought I threw it away actually by accident. And I always grab my Misty, put it away like this. I never turn it over, but I was wiping things down and cleaning off everything. It was stuck right here where the magnet is. For like 2 weeks I couldn't, stuck right here. Couldn't find the stupid thing. And yep, now I have it. So, note to self, look everywhere and everywhere and under and in everything, I guess. Okay, now, just gonna take that off. That's the first one. Now I gotta look at this. So now it tells you A1, A1, where's B? B1. Okay, so this should be my lightest because you go light to dark when you layer this. So A1 is, this is A, this is A, this is A right here. Right there, yep. So A1, and now you can see there's a little groove. Let me move so we can see here. There's a little groove right here that I'll line up with the flower itself. And then you just outline those, line up those edges. I think I got it. Pretty easy to line up. I was a little nervous this was going to be tougher. Now it's sticking to my finger. Now I can't get it off with these new stamps. I was a little nervous this was going to be hard to line these up, but you can see the edge, how it's cut, and then you can see where that groove fits around the bottom of the flower just nicely. I'm going to pick this up before I move it. There we go. And then I'm going to lay the other ones down because I'm going to do all the same color. So C is this one up here. And there's a little cutout right here for this little piece of the stamen. I think that's called a stamen. So I'm going to line that up, and then I can see the cutout around the flower itself. Man, that's easy to line up. I've been so hesitant to do these because I thought I'm shaky naturally just a little bit. And then to line these up, and then, you know, I get impatient with myself wanting to get it right the first time sometimes. And thinking this was just going to be too much, like too much. I'll just stamp on color. I've been doing a lot of coloring and things, but this is actually really easy. Okay, I'm going to pick that one up so I don't move it. Like so. And then the last one, which is B in the middle. Again, same thing. It's got this little groove that you fit around the bottom of the flower. So I'll fit that around, and then it almost automatic, like boom, that one just went like lined right up if you get it on there straight. If you get it around that little groove, everything else just falls right into place actually. Okay, ooh, here we go. Okay, now I'll prime these. This is first time using them. Give them a little love. Okay, now I see a little groove there. That must be, what is that? Oh, that's because that's gonna go around that, and I'm assuming, let me just make sure, that's B, B2. I think it'll catch. Why does that do that? I guess we'll find, oh, let's see, it's going around the stem. Okay, I'm gonna do my lightest pink. So now I'm gonna go for 2 of the flowers. Oh, I wanted to take this one off because I'm going to go darker. So we're going to take that one off. I want 1 flower. I'm kind of mimicking the cover one. It had 2 light and 1 just very lightly shade darker. I'm going to go 2 of the light pink and 1 with the Be Mine with a darker green. So, Catherine Pooler, It's a Girl on these 2 flowers here. I primed them. And you might, as you layer inks, just remember that it gets darker. So if you don't get it good the first time, but you like the color, just remember if I stamp this again, it'll probably go just a little deeper. And I'm going to go one more time because it's a new stamp and it's not too smooth this first time. So stamp that again. Kind of let that work into the paper so it kind of smooths it out. Now the nice thing about Catherine Pooler's inks, though, they do smooth out as they dry. Really nice. I've just learned that over time, and that actually smoothed that out pretty nice. I have one little spot right there. That lined up pretty darn good. I'm off just like a hair on this side. Can't even see it in the camera down there. If I move it up, you can probably see I'm off just a hair, but hey, first time, and I'm good with that. Okay, I'm gonna clean these off, because then I'm gonna do this one. I'm going to get all my pinks done first. So now I've got to remember, this was the middle one, which is B. So B1 goes back to B1. I love the fact that they got this labeled like this too. This was A, so this goes to A1. And now I'm going to take my one that I had taken off, which, oh, here it is. Reline this one up. And I'm going to go just a little darker pink on this one and darker green just to give me some variation. And I think if you think that's pretty good. Prime it. Give this one a little love as well. Catherine Pooler, Be Mine. Just a little more intense pink. Just a tiny bit more on that one. It's actually pretty good, and I think I'll smooth out good, but we'll just give it one more little shot. There we go. Now, I'm going to do my accents in greens and see how I've tried to match them up prior to just to make sure, but we'll see. So now I'm going to go back to A and B. Because I'm going to do the same green for those, which is going to be Garden Party. I'm going to do Lime Ricky for this one, because it's got to be a little darker to show up on that. So now I need A2 right here. Goes on this one. Again, it has the same little groove to line up on that little middle piece. And you line up that middle piece like it should be, and this just drops right in place. Okay, so I'm going to pick that one up so I don't move it. Now I'm going to do B2. Has the same little groove again to line up that little middle piece. Everything else. And then you got to kind of watch the edges of the flower to make sure the edges line up. If I'm off just a kilter, I can see this top is off my flower. So just reline that up. I'm going to move this over just a hair because I can see that stem. And pick that up. Now I'm going to use my Garden Party on these. You know what's drawn me to these, this kind of stuff, is you look at the final product, and I feel like it looks like it's up to your ante of your skill level too. Like I feel like it's just like, gosh, how did they do that? And I feel like when you do cards like this, it's like people are like, oh my gosh, look at that! Like you made that in my head. So like I feel like I'm gonna go one more time. It's almost one more time. Remember, as you layer inks, they get a little more intense and darker, and I just want that to pop off that pink. Holy buckets, you guys! You guys, I am so ecstatic right now that I'm actually doing this and making this. This is so cool. I can't even tell you. And again, I just have to tell you, you look at Altenew's website and look at their products. It is top-notch design. It is top-notch quality, and I can tell you this is not going to be my last 6 sets now that I've done this, just this first how many minutes we're in here doing this, because these are just amazing. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now at Christmas or something. Okay, so now I'm going to add this one. This one was C, so I need C2 off of here, which is C2 is right here. Okay, has the same little, actually, yeah, it's got a tiny little middle piece there that you line up, and then looks like you got to line up the edges of that flower, and you can see where they are. You can see where these are supposed to be if it's lined up right. Should be over just a little bit, I think. Yeah, you gotta look at the edges of the flower too to make sure you're lined up and overlapping where it should be overlapping and not overlapping. Can't tell on this one. I think here. No, it's gotta line up that little middle piece. Like so. It sticks to your fingers. I suppose I could use my picking tool to move these two. I think that's lined up. You gotta really look at some of the lines of the flower to see if it's where it's supposed to be. I think that is where it's supposed to be. Okay. But I love on Mr. C2 here. Okay, so now I did Garden Party, I'm doing Lime Ricky because I'm saving the other 2 greens here for my stem. Okay, so then give this a little Lime Ricky. Pop that down. Wow. I gotta get this out after I stamp this just to show you. So if we look at the cover, this is how it came. This was on the back of the cover. It had, oh wait, no, where's the one I was looking at? Where's the one I was looking at? Maybe it was this one. It had 2 of the same and lighter, so I was just trying, and then you can tell it's a little darker, and then the light. I was trying to go for that concept, and you can kind of already, you can see it. So I'm off just slightly. It could have came down over this way just a little bit, but it still works. And I'm going to leave that like that. I think 2 times, and that's good. Clean that up. All right, C2 goes back. Now it looks like I need, the flowers are done. Now I need the stems. So now the stem is right here. This is the main stem. Okay, so then you line these up, and you can line up the bottoms of the flowers. And then it looks like those stems will fall right into place. Pretty darn easy. You gotta look at the edge of the cut. This is cut angled this way, so you gotta look at that inside angle of that cut. And if you're looking at it, you'd get what I'm talking about. That's lined up. This is easy to line up. These are the things I was nervous about lining up, these little small detail things here. Especially like, you know, I don't know. I get a little shaky, and then I feel like my bigger hands, you know, but it's just so easy. 2 seconds, and that one lined up. Okay, now I'm gonna do my favorite. These 3, I'll tell you right now, are my favorite combo when I do leaves. Or even like this is the shades I kind of go for with my Copic markers even. But I already used this one, so I'm taking that one out. I'm going with my Martini as my base because you go light to dark, and then the Deck the Halls will be my darker shading on these. So Martini all over, and not in the good way like Martini in a glass. Okay, pop that one down. I'm gonna probably do this one 2 or 3 times too, with it being new. One more time actually on that one. Okay, now we'll get the accents for the stem. Anybody else use Altenew, love Altenew. If you aren't, I can tell you right now from first experience, you gotta get some. You know, I waited till things went on sale, so it was affordable for me. And okay, now these ones. Oh, now you can see the bottom. You gotta line up the bottoms of these. It looks like. This one's just a little bit harder, actually. You can see where the accent's supposed to go in the stem, and so it's like you got to push that stem in place where that's supposed to be. There we go. You got to look at the stem almost first, and then the other accents in there. And I'm lining this one because I'm pushing and I'm kind of going like each direction here to get that lined up. And hopefully my head's not in the way. No, okay. I think we're gonna go there. All right, I'm gonna go my darkest, deck the halls. This one's pretty dark, but I wanted it because I knew these greens would all be kind of similar. So I wanted something just to throw that off a little bit. And I'm just giving it, I'm not pushing it all, I'm just giving it a little lightness because I figured that's all I need. That's just a little light. I didn't even push all the ink off the stamp on that. I just kind of let it set down and on. I know right now, if I was to send this card to my mother or even a couple friends I know, they would be like, okay, how, like you're just, that's just unreal to me. Okay, I'm done. That's it. That's the flower. Because I used up everything, right? I did that. I did A2 and B2, A1, C's I did the stems. I did that one. The rest of these are sentiments, and then these little flowers I might throw on there in gray, on the tops or on the back. Okay, let's die cut this and line that up. And don't mind my really well-loved Big Shot here. It's falling apart. I've got to get new pieces. This piece here is out of stock everywhere I look right now. Okay, die cut. Let's see, where'd Shawn put his die cut? It's over here. Let's see how easy this die cut is to line up. Again, this is like ultimate reveal. Haven't even opened up this stuff. Alright, and I take my stuff out of this plastic and put it in my own because that stuff rips so easy anyway. Alright, this is the die cut for the little flower. Not going to die cut that one out. I'll probably just stamp that one on. Alright, let's see how easy. Sometimes, you know, we've all know these die cuts sometimes are easy to see around the edges, sometimes not. Sometimes they're a little more forgiving, sometimes not. And we'll see how this one is. This is just as easy as the stamps, I'm telling you. I can't even explain to you. It just fell right into place. All right, let's just put those down. My very well-loved plates here. Run that through. And here's the deal. I don't know about anybody else, and I've heard people comment on it. Not on my stuff. I've heard people comment on preference. You know, when you die cut stuff out, how you get that white edge. Does that bother anybody else? Like, for me, it depends. For me, it depends on what I'm cutting out. Who was I just watching this week? I want to say it might have been Kelly. It might have been Kelly Taylor, I think. She does not like it. And she'll color that edge to match the background of her card so that it blends in. I'm impartial. I mean, because I feel like it makes it pop, but at the same time I can see with certain cards you might. Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna, just because it's a new stamp set, why not? Why not? I'm gonna throw that in there. And then I might throw another one coming from like there. So I might just kind of, I'm going to mark these just a little bit with a pencil. Okay, so I'm going to put my flower where I want my flower, which is going to be right about here because my sentiment's going to go there. Do I want to turn this just a little bit? I'm going to turn this just a little bit. So would I go here? Because I know my sentiment's going to go in there. I don't know what, I haven't picked out a sentiment yet either. I got too excited to open these. These say, you create beauty with your attitude, your behavior, your actions. Thank you for all you do. You are so sweet. Sending hugs. Hello. Always keep your end goal in mind. Hi. Do all things with sincerity. Love you. Miss you. I might do... I might want to do something small because I think I'm going to do something small. These, like, small like these. Because I want to throw... I'm going to throw a little bit right in here. So I'm going to mark where I'm going to put this flower. I'm just going to put like a little pencil dot so I can line this back up. Then I'm going to throw this one in between here. And then I'm going to throw this one up, coming out from the underneath of there. Like so. Okay, I can see my dots, and those will get covered up with everything else. So let's just do that really quick. I'm going to do these in gray. So we're going to throw this back in here. Lovely, lovely. I had that marked in between that and the top of that, like so. I'm going to go in just a little bit so it covers up my pencil mark so I don't have to worry about erasing it. Pick it up. Love it to pieces. I'm going to go same gray as my back, so we're going to go with the hoodie. And we'll see if we need 1, 2, or 3 times. Let's just take a gander. Okay, so there's 1. And 2. 2 and done. 2 and done. I don't want it super dark. I don't want it to look too black and too dark. Try to keep this nice and soft. I see my 2 dots right here, and I had that lined up, I think, right in between, like so. I had it in between the groove and on top of this hump and in between the groove, so I'm going to go just up slightly to cover that, because you can't see, you can almost see my pencil mark right there a little bit, and then a little sand eraser will help that. Okay, same thing. 2 and done. 1. And 2. I'm gonna give that just a tiny bit more, little tap. Just a little tap. There we go. A little darker than that, but I'm okay. That's all right. Oh, I gotta be careful to not spray my first Altenew work of art. Okay. Take this away, put it back where it goes, and take this out. Now, let me just get rid of my 2 little pieces that are showing here. Be careful not to erase your linen background. But that one, I'm going to keep those there because I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. But let's just glue this down here first. And then I'll tap this onto the card base. Oops, not that one. Because then I'll stamp my sentiment before I throw that up on dimensionals. Alright, pardon if my head gets in the way so I can line this up. Pink, gray, and green. I love this combo. Cardstock I got from Cardstock Warehouse. This is Nina, 110 pound. Bought it by accident, but I like it actually for the bases. It's not the best for other stuff. It's a little too thick to like print on or something, to run through a printer. And then this stuff I got from Cardstock Warehouse, the pink, huge sale. It's like, my stack is like that big. Seriously, it's like, I got a lot of it. Okay, I'm gonna just find where this is gonna go, and then I'm gonna put my sentiment on here quick too, before I throw this up on dimensionals. So probably should have did this all while it was in here. Okay, let me find my little spots here. I had there, I had in like so. That actually was supposed to be coming out of there. So that. Why do I have a pencil mark way over here and that doesn't line up? I had it like this. That makes no sense to me. My little pencil marks didn't work because this is supposed to be like this. Okay. Let's get rid of this little pencil mark. That makes no sense. A little splatter on this would kind of probably look cute too. I don't even think that's a pencil mark. Okay. Which one? You are so sweet. Thank you for all you do. You know what? Miss you. I think I'm gonna do a miss you. Miss you, miss you. Let's look. Miss you. I'm going in there, probably right there. Trying to wish I could cover that little dot up now. But then that doesn't line up because this was supposed to be there and there. Like so. I'm going to tweak this over and I'm going to do my miss you over top of that, I think. If that works. Make it work. Make it work. Okay. Tweak over a little bit more. I think that'll still be okay there. We're going to go right over my little dot that's not a pencil mark. I don't know what it is. Go in just a little. And straighten it out. And I'm going to go hoodie, but I'm going to go several times on this one so it gets darker. I just don't want to add a black. I don't want to add another color for black in here. Black would probably be just fine, but I don't want to mix this up. So we're just going to go several stamps on this miss you so I can get it dark. Three for sure. One more. Do you see that progression of how that's gotten darker? And there, my little dot has disappeared. Gone. Okay, we'll clean this up later because guess what? I'm going to throw this up on dimensionals and I got myself my first amazing, in my opinion, Altenew layered card. Alright, let's throw some dimensionals up on here. And I'm using 1/16 inch dimensionals. I want this to pop. These are pretty hefty dimensionals. So I want this to pop. I don't think I need to do the stem because this is holding up pretty good. I might put a little piece right here on the very end. Just get that to move over a little bit. Can't see it. Alright. I'm going to pop this up. I'm going to throw some glue on these so I have a little wiggle room so I can realign this to those stamped flowers where I wanted it to be. Now that I've moved it to a different spot. As I line this up, so I'll throw some glue on, use my tweezers to help me. Okay, now I know I had this twisted quite a ways over, so this was here like so. This was more there. Should have went up a tiny bit. See if I can get that up. See how nice that glue is? It buys you some time before you commit. It's like a relationship. You gotta buy some time before you commit. Okay. Oh, I like it. I like it. There we go. Let me go. I apologize. I didn't bring a card base over to my desk. Hang on. I'll grab a card base. And we'll make sure I got a nice crisp fold. I like to brand the back of mine. And we'll pop this on the card. Make sure I got it the right way, not backwards here. So I did my matte layer, so I just had a little white going around the edge. And look at that. How nice is that? Like, I am so happy with this. I am so happy with my purchase. So let's check it out.
Oh, I love it.
Get that to turn the right way. There we go. I can't be happier with this. I mean, seriously, I just am ecstatic. Altenew. This one was Altenew's Sweet Flowers set. Tons of ideas inside here. There you go. Last little look. All right, there's my quick Altenew card. I can tell you, or I can guarantee you, I'm going to be doing cards with the rest of these and show you my first result with my first sets of Altenew. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully you just got a little laugh out of seeing me get so excited over my first Altenew sets and the results that you get. That's what drew me to these. Their design and how beautiful they are and the results you get. I'm like, I gotta get some of those, and then trying something new. Turning 50 in a couple weeks, and this is all about trying some stuff new this month for me. Pardon me. And this is it. This is one of my first new things. So again, if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like and then a little bell to get notified when I upload my next video. I have a Monday moment that comes out every Monday where I share tips, tricks, and helpful hints. And then every other Saturday I have a Scrappy Shorts where I'm using up my paper scraps and creating something with anything that I save. I save a lot and I just recreate something new. So again, thank you all so very much. So happy you were to join me and experience my Altenew experience for the first time. And I hope to see you back. And until next time, I'll see you then.